The hidden number one leading cause of death. It's not heart disease. We know when it comes to disease, the top three killers are heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. In 2015, there was approximately 50,000 drug overdoses. However, in 2021, the overdoses nearly doubled at 100,000. By far, the number one class of drugs that is responsible for this are opioids. In 2021, they're responsible for more deaths from heart disease and COVID combined. Opioids work by attaching themselves to our opioid receptors, altering our biochemistry. They influence our endocrine system by blurring pain and feeling in general. When people die from opioids, it's usually due to the people's breathing stopping and cardiac arrest. When you take a drug, you don't really have side effects, you have direct effects. This is because everything in our bodies is connected. Poppy seeds are the source of opioids, such as morphine, Oxycontin, and fentanyl. Fentanyl is a synthetic form of an opioid, and it is actually 50 to 100 times more powerful than a regular opioid. This also makes them much more addictive. In the United States, our life expectancy has increased in previous decades. However, more recently, it has reversed, and our life expectancy is actually decreasing. It's estimated that this is the first generation that is not going to outlive its predecessors. Now, how did this happen? We did not have an overdose of drugs until we had an abundance of them. The FDA first had to approve the drugs starting with Oxycontin in the 1990s. What people do not realize is that the unethical process that took place with Purdue Pharma. Now, Purdue Pharma hired a man named Curtis Wright, who worked for the FDA. Wright developed the statement for the package insert that said delayed absorption is believed to reduce abuse potential. The thing is that no research was behind it, and these were beliefs, not facts. He approved the drug, then went on to work at Purdue Pharma for nearly $500,000. This is a clear conflict of interest here. Now, I did podcasts before about the revolving door that happens between the exchange of employees between FDA and pharmaceutical companies. The FDA also gets half its funding from pharmaceutical companies. Pharmaceutical drugs have their place and can be life-saving. The problem is that when we don't get it to the underlying cause, which is often lifestyle-related, Purdue Pharma wanted to fund a network of front groups to look like patient advocate groups. So they wanted to say how safe the non-addictive drug was, and they directed their patients back to opioids. Purdue Pharma then created a new term called breakthrough pain. This is to say that you need to take more of the drug for it to work so it can keep that drug relevant. Patients became even more addicted. Purdue then created a term called pseudo-addiction. This was to say that you're not actually addicted, your dose is just not high enough, and you need to up that dose. In 2007, Purdue Pharma pled guilty and paid $600 million fine. But this is nothing because they made $10 billion off Oxycontin alone. After they went on with business as usual. In 2021, after 500,000 Americans have died from opioid overdose, Purdue Pharma was forced to pay billions of dollars, and the company is to be reconstructed. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning into the show. For more, you can head over to anthonygastella.com for articles, coaching, and other free resources. Also, if you can, leave a review for the show, let people know what you think, and I would appreciate that so much. Support the mission of freedom. Thanks for being on this mission with me, and I promise to give you more powerful, empowering, great content to help transform your life. Thanks for tuning in.